So once again, one of my favorite poses, standing head to knee. And these are we'll talk about three things that stop people from really improving in this position. I've been inspired to make this video at the Teach Train program here in New Jersey at Zora Bloom with the help of Zachary. First, we're gonna talk about the setup. We are in a Teach Train program, that's why I'm looking in these directions. The setup is key. One of the first big mistakes people do is that they hold 2 inches below the toes. So watch Zachary do that. When you hold 2 inches below the toes, and now he's slowly gonna kick that leg out, he can't flex the foot back toward his face. So stop for a second, relax. If you're holding that high, you're not allowing the foot to flex. By going just below the ball of the foot, which is about almost halfway down the foot, it's almost halfway. Now you have what we call dorsiflexion, because now you're allowing the foot to hinge back towards your face. Because your heel should be at the furthest point of your body in front of you. It should be further than the toes. If you point your toes even 1/4 of an inch forward or a centimeter forward, you're actually creating tension behind the leg, which is the hamstring. People say, I can't kick my leg out. It's so tight. By pointing your toe, you're working against yourself. You're making it even tighter. So we're gonna hold just below the ball of the foot to get this dorsiflexion for the toes to come back towards your face. The heel kicks out, and now the hamstring can stretch. So we're still in the setup. Other part of the grip is that people have, in the Bikram world, they say interlace all 10 fingers. When you're interlacing all 10 fingers, it protrudes the wrist. When you protrude the wrist, I've said this before in my video, I call it the G.I. Joe Kung Fu grip. For a beginner, it's great. For a beginner, you're securing your grip with your hands. The problem is, when it's time for you to get to the next level, which is more intermediate, and it's time for you to drop your elbows down, you can't, because you've created so much tension in the wrists and the forearms. So we want to interlace the 8 fingers so that the wrists are straight, not protruded. So here I am with the protruded wrist, and now here I am with a straight wrist. I just went 2 inches further without getting more flexible. So interlace the 8 fingers, not the 10, so your wrists are straight. All right, this is the part of the setup. Now I'm gonna have Zach turn this direction, you can see him a little better. As I travel literally across the world, I see people they hold their foot and they're too low. So pick up your left foot, he's gonna pick up his left foot. They have their thigh parallel to the floor, reach down and grab your foot. A little bit lower with your knee. Lower, 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 lower. And they start here, and they're stuck. Now come out of it before you hurt yourself. When your thigh's parallel to the floor, and you're a little older like Zach, or your body's really tight, you're gonna hurt yourself. Somebody that's young, in their 20s, very flexible, they can hold their thigh parallel to the floor all day long and they're fine. Get somebody that's a little tighter, somebody gets a little older, they're gonna kill their back. Here's a story. One of the last teacher train programs, you can face the camera now. One of the last teacher train programs I was at guest teaching with Bikram was 2002. And I told everybody, instead of having the thigh parallel, lift that knee a little bit above parallel, which then widens the sacrum and protects the lower back. So literally, I like to exaggerate, but I'm not exaggerating here. 60 people came up to me after class and said, oh my God, I thought there was something wrong with me. Thank you so much for giving me this correction, because all of a sudden now I can do the pose.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
So no, the thigh's not parallel to the floor. We want the knee a little above parallel. So go ahead, pick up that left foot, face that direction again. And instead, we're gonna have the knee a little bit above waist level. Now with the knee a little bit above waist level, we're protecting the lower back. That's gonna be the key, protecting the lower spine. Now here's the big mistake I see people make. Face this way again, Zach, pick up your foot. As I teach the first set of standing head to knee, very few people want to kick that leg out. They stay stuck here. Either they're a little too low, or if they're in the right position where their lower back is protected, they don't move. They stay here in the first set, stuck, frozen in concrete. Now they're actually creating more tension in their body, not allowing for the range of motion to go. So what I told Zach, because he's in my teacher train program now, in the first set, start extending that leg out. kick the leg all the way out. Go ahead. As he kicks the leg out in the first set, now we're giving him 2 sets to get the flexibility happening in the hamstring. He's going to drop his shoulders down, extend his arms, flex his foot. Now we get that leg out. Okay, relax for a second, Zach. So we're not going to stay there and hold it and create more tension. If somebody is, let's say, super flexible and they can't balance for that long, that might be a good thing to do for them, just to hold that foot, create some stability in the first set, maybe even only half of the first set. Then start letting it kick that leg out. But don't be frozen there in time, holding that foot forever, because you're going to be stuck. Now that Zach starts kicking his leg out in the first set, big difference, yes?
Big difference.
Big difference. Now Sarah has magically appeared. Wave to the camera, Sarah. Okay, we created the setup. We don't want the knee to be lower. We don't want the thigh parallel. We want the knee higher. We don't want the Kung Fu G.I. Joe grip. We want 8 fingers, not 10. And we want that knee a little bit above waist level, and then extend that leg out in the first set. Give yourself 2 sets to get that hamstring stretching. I was just talking today when I was doing standing bow, and I could straighten my leg in the standing bow. I wasn't able to do it till the second set. So if I wasn't kicking in the first set, I would never be able to straighten my leg. You got to give yourself 2 sets.
Show off.
All right, second mistake with Sarah is that once they are able to kick that leg out, she can pick her foot up, she kicks her leg out to parallel, and I'm going to hold her foot so she don't have to work on balance so much. What happens is, especially if you've been using that Kung Fu grip so tightly, they put too much tension in the forearms and the wrists. They're holding on with their arms, the wrists are tight. Now it's time for her to drop her elbows down because her upper leg is straight, and now she can't because she's stuck here like concrete. Instead, what we have to do, relax for a second, we have to relax the wrists and forearms. This has to be loose. You're holding on with your fingers, not your hands. So this drops down like a hinge. Drops down like a hinge. So now watch Sarah do that. She's going to pick up her foot with her 8 fingers. Once again, I'm going to hold her foot so she doesn't have to worry about balance so much. And now, this is loose. This drops. Go ahead, drop your elbows down. This drops. This is loose. It all softens. Now she can press her elbows into the calf muscle to actually give her something else to hold on to. She presses her elbows into the calf muscle. She's a little more stable now. So this is all loose and relaxed. It drops down to that next level, that almost advanced level. Okay, change. Matt had a question. He says, because he's got his leg out and his leg is straight, but he's having a tough time just holding there, drop his elbows down. And I'm telling you, once the leg is completely straight, now your primary thought is to keep the upper quad engaged. By keeping the upper quad engaged, you can ensure that the leg doesn't bend. But because his leg isn't completely straight and he's sweating, the leg is actually pulling him away. So he's having a tough time dropping down. Once your leg is completely straight, the sweat won't matter. You'll be able to stay there and stabilize the position, and then you can start dropping the wrists and the elbows down. Okay, mistake number 3, and this is a biggie, and this is a little bit more advanced. Now it's time for you to bring your head to the knee. The problem is people start to drop their chest down and their upper body down to touch the head to the knee. When you do that, look what happens. Go ahead, I'll hold you. So she kicks her leg out. Now she's going to come down with a flat back. Come down with a flat back. Elbows in. And now if she touches her head to the knee, she's going to struggle here. She's not going to touch her head to her knee. She's going to touch her head to her shin. She's almost in a straight back. And she's going to struggle here with her balance. Let go for a second. And not be able to find it. Relax. What we have to do is we got to curl. This is concave, the spine. So one of the things of how people do it, almost as a drill, is to look down from the beginning. Look straight down from the beginning. Emmett Cleaves used to teach it that way as well. So pick up your foot. I want you to look straight down from the start. Look down. Now pick up your foot. Stay looking down. I got you, so you don't have to worry about your balance. Stay looking down. Kick the leg out. Stay looking down. Now drop your elbows. And now curl it in. And now look how rounded her spine is. Her head touches the knee. Elbows in. Eventually the elbows will go even lower below the calf muscles as she gets a little more range of motion in her shoulders. But now look how rounded her back is. Okay, relax now. Good. So, the other key is when you start to drop your head to your knee, you're not moving your upper body at all. It doesn't move, just the head moves. So let's show that real quick with Sarah. She's going to pick up her foot. She kicks it out. Her upper body, go ahead, drop your elbows down. Her upper body doesn't move, just her head comes down only. See that? Look at her spine. Now I want you to bring your head up and look at me. Bring the head down again. Bring the head up again. Bring the head down again. The upper body doesn't move, just the head. So we're in a curled, you can relax, concave position. And now your head's going to touch the knee. The center of gravity is going to be here instead of here at the shin. Big difference in how we can improve standing hip to knee. Yes? Yep. Wave to the camera. That's our episode for today. Thank you so much for watching. Any questions about this post, put them down below. I'm happy to get back to you, learn all about hot yoga. Hit the subscribe button, like button right now, and we'll see you, wave again, in the next video. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Zach says goodbye too.